For the sake of society, I'm off to see Doug Ford in Kitchener. Wish me luck. So there, I said it. Now I've got to go and do it. I'm going to take a shot at it. Perhaps I'll even meet the man. Who knows? Because it's not yet happened. Looking forward to that which is about to happen. Those were the words I wrote or spoke before leaving Brantford yesterday. Now, to be fully honest, I also had some other things to do in Kitchener, but adding Doug Ford to my equation, well, that was something I wouldn't normally do, and yet I felt the need and desire to do so. So here's some of my notes, memories basically from this day and as they happened. I had a beautiful drive along Highway 24. If you're ever in that area by Cambridge, flowering tree buds lined the streets, car windows open, wind in my face. That was awesome. Stopped in on a few MFDA and MGA offices, met a fellow painter, and then headed to Bingaman's and getting there into a fairly full room just ahead of Doug. I basically found myself a corner and waited. Now, the interesting thing was, while in this corner, I actually introduced myself to the gentleman beside me, whose wife happened to be an economist at Laurier, and now I hope to hear from them. But was shushed for speaking while Doug talked about how he's going to change our current financial problem, during which I learned that the fourth expense line in our Ontario budget is the interest, basically, to service our debt. And therefore, no surprise, not only is our consumer retail investor challenged by debt, so too is our political system, known as the Ontario government. I left when Doug was done speaking. I found myself not wanting to stick around for a photo op. I had heard enough. And I ultimately found myself back to the van and on my way back to Brantford. Now, last night was Thursday, and there's a new restaurant in Brantford that has a special on wings, and me being a bit of a wing guy, I decided to stop by. And you know, it was this decision that I'm happy I made, and I think I met and spoke with the right person tonight. And because tonight I just met, or last night I should say, I just met Teri-Lyn Robison. She's an individual who just changed the law in the insurance industry. You see, apparently when a husband burns your house down in the old world, the insurance company wouldn't pay. But now, because of Teri-Lyn, they would do. Thanks to Teri-Lyn, she's been able to make these changes in law for future individuals such as herself who would suffer through that sort of a thing. Teri-Lyn, however, though, still falls under the old rules, and she's not been fully covered. What I'm reminded by meeting Teri-Lyn is that leadership and entrepreneurship is about sacrifice. She did something to change it for others, all the while trying to manage the loss in her own situation. The new rules do not apply, and that must be difficult to accept, or if you don't, then continue to persevere against. In either case, that is what sacrifice and change represents. So, you know, while I went out today to view and possibly meet the new political leader of Ontario, I'm happy to say something even better happened. And I was privileged to meet a leader and wish her all the best in what I'm sure has now become her purpose. Thanks. All the best. Will Prinzen, founder, Sciuridae.